I bypassed Seattle, unlike Steinbeck, because I cut sharply south from Spokane to avoid the steep climbs of the northern Cascade Mountains. I knew it would put a strain on the vehicles that was unwise. That route took me through Olympia, skirting around the southern point of Puget Sound. I was heading out to a campground on the inner portion of the Olympic Peninsula. The location was called Tahuya, or I think that's what it was called. I've come to learn that a good portion of the towns in Washington state are not pronounced as you might guess based on the spelling. So I venture the guess with hesitation and brace myself for a bemused correction by a local. I'm sure this occurs in other portions of the country, but I'm not sure in equal abundance as in this state. This stop was a bit self-indulgent because I had been through the area many times when I went for a drive along the western coast of the Sound. It was a great spot and one I hope to visit again. They had the best camp store I've seen in all of my travels. The items they had available weren't just the standard camp supplies most have. They had organic and handcrafted selections that were exactly what I wanted. I found some amazing candles made by local artisans and some fun novelties and crafts that were unlike any I'd seen elsewhere. I was there over the 4th of July weekend, and the campground was perfectly positioned to benefit from a fantastic fireworks show on the other side of the Sound in an exclusive area. I'm sure it would be more interesting if I could report that some group was rude or inconsiderate, and I did encounter individuals along the way who were unpleasant in the moments I came in contact with them, but I've yet to find a town, city, hamlet, or other gathering spot where I couldn't honestly say the people there were genuinely decent and friendly. The Puget Sound is a beautiful and somewhat unique area. It almost bisects the Olympic Peninsula from the rest of Washington, and the water that fills it comes from the Pacific Ocean. And while I've yet to have the experience personally, it is reported to be a great spot for orca sightings. This inlet is somehow part of their migratory path as they go up and down the coast. Steinbeck wrote of how the first hints of the Pacific Ocean hit him as he made his way through Washington. It was very far inland that I caught the first smell of the Pacific. When one has been long at sea, the smell of land reaches far out to greet one, and the same is true when one has been long inland. I believe I smelled the sea rocks and the kelp and the excitement of churning seawater, the sharpness of iodine, and the odor of washed and ground calcareous shells. Such a far off and remembered odor comes subtly so that one does not consciously smell it, but rather an electric excitement is released. A kind of boisterous joy. I found myself plunging over the roads of Washington, as dedicated to the sea as any migratory lemming. The intense pull of the ocean was just as profound for me, and even being at the coast of the Sound, still quite removed from the actual Pacific Ocean, I felt the soothing electricity that flows inland. I felt the comfort that always comes from having access to the water that ebbs and rips with consistency and reliability that brings everything into its rhythm. I feel at home in this region. I just had to circumnavigate the country to have that confirmed.